any recorded submissions yet?
We have not, but then George Clooney left the cast of Facts of Life to go on tour with Stacey Q. Thank you. And that is how we're going to start.
If we can leave you with one vital piece of information this holiday season, people.
That is really all that I want to leave you with this holiday season. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode on Thanksgiving evening, when technically you should be hanging out with your family, but if you're like me and some other people, just hang out with us instead.
Well, this year you finally have an excuse to not hang around with your family.
Exactly.
This year we're actively encouraging everybody, for the sake of us all, stay away from your family.
Stay away from your family. Come hang out with us, because we pre-ate, so we're not gonna cram ourselves with cranberry sauce in front of you, so you can just enjoy a lovely evening where we're gonna have like a Thanksgiving potluck of fun and goodness. And
what if this is a trick and it's really just us eating cranberry sauce for an hour with our hands? I mean, just
with our hands.
Yeah, let's do that.
I had cranberry sauce, and apparently I've eaten it all.
It's gone.
I have cornbread.
Dang it!
Wow.
Get cornbread.
It's pretty
I have
good.
to make my own cornbread like a caveman.
You see, this is good cornbread. Look at it. It's dense. It's thick. It's almost like a little cake almost. It's not that grainy, dry. It's moist.
Well, you're down south. They must know what they're doing with cornbread down there. We don't know what we're doing with cornbread up here in Massachusetts. We started this Thanksgiving thing up here, but you perfected it, I'm guessing, down south.
Oh, yeah.
we said, I was at my mom's house a couple of days ago, and she said, should I make cornbread for Thanksgiving? And I said, yeah. And then she said, okay, well, you know what? I think while I was off doing something else, she said, I'm going to go ahead and make it while you're gone so you can have some while you're here. And then by the time I got back, it wasn't ready. Outrage.
Heartbreak.
Yes. So I guess I have to wait another week. I mean, well, as we're, because technically on Thanksgiving night, I'm eating it right now.
True. As you are watching this on the YouTube.
Yes, we will be watching ourselves.
Oh, you know what we could do? We could all be eating things and then watch ourselves on the YouTube.
We can record a commentary track as we watch this Thanksgiving night.
Oh,
shoveling down cornbread and cranberries.
Joe, we should actually do that. We should go grab some older quarantine panels and do commentary. It's like, oh, yeah, I remember. I was completely pulling that out of my...
Yes, we can 100% do that. But what I should do before we go about to continue the funness is introduce the people that are ensconced in our Thanksgiving bunkers. Ladies and gentlemen, one internet to my left, Kevin.
Hi, I'm Kevin. You people have seen me here before. Joe and Gary have been trying to figure out how to get rid of me. I'm a podcaster and a regular or irregular here with the Sci-Fi Classics Track. My show is called The Flopcast, part of the ESO network. There's the address. And we just do silly, geeky, goofy, weird, nerdy talk every week on our show, similar to the kind of goofy Classics Track kind of talk that you find here. So great to be here to kick off the stupid holidays.
Yes. And one internet south of me, my unindicted co-conspirator, and as we're taping this, today is his birthday.
Yeah.
Gary Mitchel.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I am Gary Mitchel, and yes, it is my birthday, and yes, oh my God, I'm old. I'm half a century.
we prefer to, instead of saying old around the American Sci-Fi Classics Track, we say awesome.
Ah.
So, and by that, like, I'll use it in a sentence for you, Gary. Today is Gary's birthday, and he's so awesome that his body is breaking down.
So many breakdowns.
And he's so awesome that he's descending into awesome entropy. But then, so are we all.
Indeed. And the reason my backdrop is different is I actually hit the road for my birthday and decided to travel. And I went up to North Carolina and stopped. And so I stopped, and I'm in a undisclosed location where I got barbecue for dinner, and now I'm going to eat cornbread just to mock Joe.
Furious. I think this was one of the ways that they made David Banner turn into the Incredible Hulk.
That's on the list, yes.
They ate his cornbread.
He saw another guy eating cornbread. And do we have another participant
we have.
on standby?
Yes, let's add our fourth guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Lola.
Hello. What's up?
Hey, Lola.
Hey, Lola.
Happy birthday, Gary.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What generally do you do on the Thanksgiving, Miss Lola?
Well, this time I'm going to be alone, so I want to have a Zoom party. If anyone wants to participate, let me know. Because I have to stay home with our animals while Clint goes to Louisiana to see his family. So I'm going to be here all alone. And
How many animals are we talking about?
Huh?
How many animals are we talking about?
5.
Okay.
3 cats and 2 dogs.
Oof.
Yes, and the 2 dogs are like more than like 10 people can handle. They're like
giant dogs or little tiny yappy dogs?
Tiny. One's 8 pounds and one is 10 pounds. But they're like all over me. They're locked up right now. But I had them out earlier. They keep getting on the keyboard and typing, and I'll see comments and people are like, Lola, and I'm like, it's the dog. It's the dog.
It's such a good excuse.
It is.
You're
Sorry, I can't respond.
You are an idiot. No, the dogs, man. The dogs type that.
Said that. Well, the dog almost ordered something.
Cool.
I was on the page and the dog clicked something and it said purchase, and I went, no.
Nice.
They don't make any money.
Aw.
No.
So here is so here's what we're gonna do for Thanksgiving potluck. We're just bringing short things to the table, and we're gonna do some fun things. And this will be something that you could put on in the background while you're eating with your family, or you could abandon your family completely and come watch our lovely show.
Well, honestly, in the time of COVID, you should be abandoning your family and spending it with us, your real family.
We're your family now.
Although this is recorded right now, so we won't talk back.
Yeah, your family with cornbread.
I love cornbread.
We're your cornbread family.
It's best if it has milk in it. I don't like dry cornbread.
Oh, God, who does? Ridiculous.
Mm-mm. I first learned how to make cornbread in Alabama.
Well, me too.
That's the best way to do it.
Joe, didn't you learn everything in Alabama?
I did. Literally everything. Some things I'm not allowed to speak of anymore, I'll just say.
Well, some things are still illegal, so.
Yeah. Once the statute of limitations runs out, Joe.
Is there like a little tiny image of Lumpy next to me now?
Well, yes, there is, Kevin.
How do you do that?
Wow.
Because as we're taping this, not only is it Gary's birthday, but it is also Life Day.
Yay.
Yes.
Happy Life Day, everyone.
Happy Life Day, everyone. Gary, it's very, very special
Mm-hmm.
Or it's holiday special even.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your birthday is Life Day. That's wonderful.
Right.
So between that and my name, I was, destined for geekness.
Right
Really?
now,
I could not escape it.
B. Arthur should be pouring a drink directly into the top of your head.
Please, why can that not happen?
Yeah, and I will confess, I remember watching the holiday special when it aired as a kid, being 7 years old.
Mhm.
It was 77, right?
78.
78. So I was 8 years old, and I loved it. And
That was your eighth birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I think only kids would love it.
Yeah, and I remember the next year hunting through TV Guide, going, "Where is it? They run holiday specials every year. There's Charlie Brown. Get out of my way. There's this other holiday special. Get out of my way. Here comes Santa Claus. Get out of my way. Where's my Star Wars special?"
You should have on demand. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't yet seen. I know that today
yes.
Lego Star Wars Holiday Special comes out, and I'm avoiding spoilers. And clearly, it's not the same thing, but they got to throw a reference in. Why?
I'm sure they will.
Oh yeah, it has to be.
So if they don't, I am going to be physically outraged. I'm going to flip tables.
Yes. There better be some Lego virtual reality Wookiee porn. Or else what's the point?
Something.
Yeah.
Give me something.
There had better be a lumpy appearance.
I'll abridge the story. But here's the nutshell part of it. The year that Jefferson Starship was at DragonCon.
Mm-hmm.
Gary and I were not yet directors of the American Sci-Fi Classics Track, but I got in on a press pass and I went. They were allowing interviews with Jefferson Starship, so I says, "Ha I'm gonna ask them about the Star Wars Holiday Special," and I had a DVD copy of it on my person.
Oh.
And they said, before the concert, you can ask. We're going to have like a short interview time. So I'm hanging out with the other press people, and they didn't show. And then it was like an hour goes by, 2 hours goes by, and it's DragonCon. So, and they finally take the stage at like 12 or 1, and then there I am backstage, waiting on this interview with Jefferson Starship, and the rest of the press people just vanish. It's me. And I'm thinking, I'm backstage at the Jefferson Starship concert. I'm thinking, maybe it's still the 70s back here. But no, there was bologna and crackers.
Oh.
That's true.
And then I finally got a hold of their manager. And let me backtrack a little bit. This is so before they went out on concert, I said I got a hold of their manager and I said, "Hey, whenever this interview happens, before or after, I just want to ask them about the Star Wars Holiday Special." And then so concert happens, they walk off stage, they walk past me, straight onto the bus, and they are gone. The manager, though, comes up and I said, "Hey, so clearly the interview is not happening." And the manager goes, "Yeah, I asked them about the holiday special, and they said no."
That's why they left so soon.
So that was it. They were like, "That dude wants to ask us about the holiday special. We got to go."
You kind of gave it away by showing up in the full Wookiee costume.
I really
should have played it a little cool,
Well, they're at DragonCon. What do they expect?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I still love the first year I went to DragonCon, 99. There were like 30 different bands playing. And one of them was the Michael Bruce Group. And my friend and I are like, "Well, okay, we'll check them out." and because they were playing, I think, after another band we wanted to see, and we hung out, and it was like, these guys are really good. They're doing a lot of Alice Cooper songs. This is really wild. And when the concert's over, we come to find out that the Michael Bruce group is basically Alice Cooper's band without Alice.
No way.
Wow.
That's so
I'm like,
good.
oh, well, that explains everything.
Wow, this sounds a lot like Alice Cooper. That's awesome.
I bet they're pretty good, huh?
Now, I will say this: the Starship concert was really good.
Oh.
They did all the hits,
Nice.
and the lead singer was their 70s lead singer. I think either pre-Grace Slick, and I only did this because I was an obsessive reader of Rolling Stone, but so I knew way more about Starship than I needed to, and then I sat backstage eating bologna and crackers for 3 hours.
Oh my gosh. Poor
It was a good
guy.
time. It was a good time.
Well, that's really good.
So let's do that as our first topic then. Geeky
Yeah.
musical bands. Who's your favorite geek music band?
Oh, wow.
Now, Kevin Eldridge himself is in one.
That's true.
That's
Ooh,
true.
exciting.
That's true.
The Cheese
Yes.
Appreciation Society, right?
Something like that. Yeah, more or less.
Close enough.
No,
Yeah.
Sponge Awareness Foundation. Sorry.
Sponge Awareness Foundation is my band. Yeah. In fact, the music, like if you listen to the Flopcast, the theme music, that's my band that does that
Oh.
theme song. And yeah,
Oh man, getting those royalty rights must have been a bear.
it's man, and that podcast money though, that's when that starts rolling in. The residuals from having your song on my podcast is big money, I assure you. Yeah, we were a super geeky, nerdy comedy band, and Dr. Demento used to play our songs sometimes, still does on occasion. And Joe knows our big hit holiday song.
I do. When I worked, really since I've, like, for the past, I would say 15 years, every year I made a mixtape for my coworkers. And it started with an article that I wrote for the newspaper where I worked at the time. And then I made a tie-in to that article with a mixtape. And then I wrote a new article every year until, the paper disintegrated, much like all print media. But I made a mixtape for everybody of silly Christmas songs. And one year I happened upon this song by the Sponge Awareness Foundation called "An Axel Christmas."
Yeah.
And it's a mashup of Guns N' Roses and Christmas, and it is hilarious. And then a couple of years later, fast forward, I'm the co-director of DragonCon. We're in the Tetris room. Mr. Kevin Eldridge appears on one of my panels, and somehow this comes up. I don't know. He goes, "That was me.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm that guy from the
Yeah.
act." So I had been playing. There are dozens and dozens of people who consult their mixtapes every Christmas, and you're on it.
Wow.
And I didn't know that.
So you must have just been starstruck when
I
you
really
realized.
I really was.
Well, he's been stalking you for a long time.
Clearly, I had been.
That's how he got to DragonCon.
Mhm. I'm like, whatever you do, get me in the room with Kevin Eldridge. But what, as far as, I liked. There's so many people on Dr. Demento that I was a mega fan of. I liked the great Luke Ski.
Oh yeah, good friend of mine.
Very, very culturally, like the dude, the encyclopedic his songs are.
Yep.
With
No, he is a super nerd, super expert on any nerdy subject you can think of. He knows it, and he's probably already done a song parody about it. Yeah, Luke is amazing. I just talked to Luke the other day. Just saw him on a Zoom party we were at just a few days ago. Yeah, the great Luke Ski. He's the best.
We need to drag him onto one of these things. Ooh, you know what we need to do? Let's do a silly Christmas thing about one of these things.
We absolutely should do a whole Christmas one.
We'll do like a Christmas music episode, and we'll get you and Luke and whoever else we can drag onto the thing.
Luke's done a lot of geeky Christmas songs. He has medleys. He's done several Christmas medleys of Christmas geeky song parodies.
I've put several of them on my things. But funny music kind of it might have started my road to geekdom, because Dr. Demento was something I had to listen to in my room on Sunday nights.
Yep.
On a station that didn't really come in very plainly, so it belonged to me. You know, it was a very geeky thing because no one else except my little nerd group had heard of it at all.
Oh yeah. It was Sunday night, listening to the doctor. I'd be recording the show so I could make a little mixtape down, boiling down the best songs that he would play every week. And I think Dr. Demento knew that everybody was recording his show, because unlike every other DJ in the world, he didn't talk over the songs at all. He would play the intro, the outro. You get the complete song perfectly recordable on every episode of Dr. Demento. Yes.
I did not think about that, but now that you say it.
Yeah, that's why we were all able to make these perfect mixtapes of all our favorite Demento songs.
Yeah, I remember the joy of being a kid with my own little hand recorder, trying to make a mixtape and recording the song I loved, and then like 10 seconds for the end, the DJ cutting in, and I'm like, no!
Yep. Do you remember the first time you got a double cassette deck where you could record from a tape to a tape? That rocked my world.
Life-changing.
Yes.
Life-changing. Because until that point, it was just, you have the one cassette recorder, and then if you got another one, that was how you had to do it.
You have all this ambient noise because they're two different things.
Oh, I would tape off the television, and then there'd be like, my dad and my brother in the background. What are you doing? What are you listening to?
I'm recording.
I'm trying to record. Yeah.
Kind of like now.
A lot of that. So Lola, what about?
There is someone that I know personally that I've known for 25 years. His name is DC Moon. He is awesome. He's from Talladega, and he's been making music for probably 40 years. And he just released a greatest hits thing. My favorite song is, I think it's called Man from Tomorrow. And he's just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to old sci-fi movies, like from the 50s, 60s, 70s, the Hammer horror stuff. He knows it all. And he's a great musician. DC Moon, Talladega, Alabama.
Neat.
Mm-hmm.
May have to drag him onto one of these things.
He probably would. I haven't talked to him in 23 years, but he probably would.
Very cool. Gary, did you weigh in on the...
My personal... I don't remember my first nerdy musicians. Probably would have to be Tom Lehrer, though.
Oh, of course.
Whom I love.
Yep.
But my favorite, I think, currently still remains Jonathan Coulton.
I love Jonathan Coulton.
Jonathan Coulton kind of put everything together.
Yeah.
It was Jonathan Coulton I discovered once, I would say maybe in the mid-2000s when kind of all the nerdiness started coming back to me. I mean, you had it. I had it back in the 80s. But then with Facebook and the interwebs kind of started blossoming and communities started coming together, I discovered hey, there are nerds making music today.
And there's the Dr. Demento scene is that kind of pure comedy music, the Weird Al and so on. But then, in the 21st century, we had this real emergence of the geek music scene. And obviously it was always there. Yeah, it was always there. The Filk track and that we have at Dragon Con, and Filk music has always been part of the convention scene. But this kind of this popular kind of groundswell of nerd music, such as Jonathan Colton and Paul and Storm and the Double Clicks and Molly Lewis, and we get a lot of them at DragonCon. You know, there's kind of like a little collective of them that all like to work together and collaborate, and they're terrific.
Yeah, and then the nerdcore rappers like MC Frontalot and MC Chris.
God. Yeah. Our I think
we're at time.
Yes, we are. Okay.
We're doing like 5-minute blocks, right?
Okay, let's do 5-minute blocks. So next topic, anybody?
Kevin?
I brought something. Let me pull up another annoying background screen change here.
Yeah.
I love your background game.
Thank you. Well, I try.
Game is strong.
Figure it's visual. We're trying to, let me see. Let me pull this up for you. It's actually something that Gary mentioned in passing. But I actually watched this earlier today. I got an early start on my Thanksgiving festivities, and come on, there we go. Come on, we watched Charlie Brown Thanksgiving right before this show started because I love it.
It's great stuff. I mean, all those Charlie Brown specials were just there's this pureness to them that I love. I mean, they're aimed at kids, but they, you know, the adults can still enjoy them. Yeah. They're very simple stories, but they're fun. I wouldn't say, you know, they're knee slapper hilarious, but very mild-mannered humor.
They're so crazy and weird in their way as well. Yeah, it's heartwarming and it's classic, but it's also just crazy as well. They all have these bizarre elements to them, including, you know, Thanksgiving. This was the third holiday special, not the third Peanut special overall, because there were some other non-holiday ones early on. But after Christmas and Halloween, this was the third holiday special in 1973. Mm-hmm. And just the crazy dinner prepared by the dog. You can't beat that. The toast, popcorn, jelly beans, pretzels, flinging those plates across the table is just the best.
I don't know. I've got a Snoopy wall hanging. I'm going to see if y'all can see it. Is that okay if I go see if y'all can see it?
Sure.
I had
it for 12, 15 years.
Yeah, going on tour with Lola. Let's see what happens.
My messy house. And my dog.
He's behind you. He's behind you.
And my dog.
The call is coming from inside the house.
Oh no, he cut his hair off.
Snoopy.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry, Snoopy. No wonder he's been so quiet. He doesn't have a head.
See, the Zoom call is coming from inside the house.
There you go, Snoopy. All right, we can go sit down now.
Okay.
That was fun.
Very nice. One bizarre element of this show that it always amuses me every year is that when the Snoopy and Woodstock are setting up the table and chairs in the backyard, you know, they drag everything out of the garage and play ping pong and that whole crazy scene with the jazz song playing. Snoopy has that wrestling match with the crazy, evil, demonic, possessed chair. And it's that striped chair that you see that Franklin is sitting on there. Mm-hmm. You know, Snoopy's rolling around in a boxing match with this crazy, living, sentient chair. And then they just go on with the show after that, as if it had never happened. Mm-hmm. But even weirder, and you can't tell in this picture because I think Peppermint Patty's giant head is blocking our view, but the demon chair is made of the exact same fabric as Franklin's pants.
Oh. That's disturbing.
Franklin's pants perfectly match. It's that exact same like pink and white stripes.
So did he kill another chair and that's his trophy?
Yes, he tracked and killed another demon chair. That must be what happened.
It's either that or the chair is eating Franklin.
Body snatchers. Body snatchers.
He's not laughing there. He's screaming for terror and help.
It's eating his legs. Oh no!
This was the first of the major holiday ones where we see Peppermint Patty and Marcy and Franklin. And this was not their animated debut. They were in one or two of the other kind of lesser known earlier ones, but this one does not have Schroeder. They kind of really mixed up the cast for this one in that there's no Schroeder at all, and Lucy is only in the opening football scene, where she pulls the football away. You don't see any Lucy in this show after that, so she doesn't show up for the backyard Thanksgiving party.
Oh. She's too good.
Well, yeah, that's what I wonder is did they intentionally not tell her it was happening because they didn't want her to show up and ruin it, or did she know about it? Maybe she knew about it and was like, I'm not going to that stupid.
But
backyard.
Her brother knew because there he is.
Oh yeah, Linus was in the middle of it. It was
man, I'm there.
It was his idea.
Yeah,
he said, Charlie, you can have 2 dinners. Make one for your friend.
And people like Linus, they don't like Lucy.
That's
Oh yeah. Oh, the Van Pelt household. That could not have been a pleasant place to be on Thanksgiving Day. The way that family did. Notice how happily Linus was just, I'm just going to go along for the ride with Charlie Brown's family. His family doesn't know what happened to him that day, and I don't think they even cared.
No.
I'll say
Isn't he still out there in the pumpkin patch?
He's still asleep, collapsed, unconscious in a pumpkin patch for all they know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
getting hypothermia because they're and dying.
I don't think Lucy would have been happy at this party anyway because she was always the one freaking out over dog germs. And this is a Thanksgiving dinner that was cooked and served by a dog.
Prepared by a dog and a tiny bird.
Yes, and a wild bird was in charge of buttering the toast.
That's why there was no turkey, because the bird, we can't have a bird cooking a bird. That's just cannibalism.
A bird does eat a bird at the end. Yeah, because after the kids drive off to grandmother's house, then it turns out Snoopy and Woodstock had a full Thanksgiving dinner secretly stashed away inside Snoopy's doghouse.
That's right.
Woodstock just chows down on the full roast turkey at the end.
We're different types of birds. It's okay.
See what I mean, folks? You don't just, you really pay attention and you can really pick these things apart and enjoy the bizarre details that they have to offer.
That is so great.
All right. We're at time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all waiting.
All just stare at each other. What
Freeze.
I had an idea that, and in typical American Sci-Fi Classics Track fashion, didn't have time to prepare anything related to it, or to prep anything at all. I want to steal a thing from Jimmy Fallon. He does a recurring sketch called True Confessions.
I like thinking notes. We should do that.
Those are good too. True Confessions it's basically 2 truths and a lie, and the group tries to decipher which story that you are telling is true or not.
You stole that from NPR.
So I don't feel quite as bad then for stealing it from Jimmy Fallon, because I'm also stealing it from NPR.
Yeah, wait, don't tell me they have a segment like that.
Yeah, look at that. So technically speaking, let's table it until we can prepare for it.
Okay. 5 minutes, that's time.
Sure. So, Gary, what'd you bring?
I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about one of the unappreciated cartoon gems of the 80s.
Ooh.
A show that I love, that I don't think gets a lot of attention, that I would love to see someone try to bring back, and that's Inhumanoids.
Oh my gosh.
The Inhumanoids, if you're not aware, was it was like everything from the 80s. It was a toy line. That the cartoon was basically a commercial for, but these giant evil monsters living under the earth get woken up when humanity digs too deep, much like the dwarves in Helm's Deep. And there were 3 of them. There was this Moltar, who was this big molten, their king. You knew he was their king because he had a horn coming out of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Decompose, which was this giant dinosaur skeleton looking guy. And I think Tendril was the other one. Basically was a he was a Cthulhuoid. He had tentacle mouths, he had tentacle arms, and the humans had these big power suits that they would wear to try to fight them. And I always thought I kept waiting for them to cross over with G.I. Joe because it was similar animation. Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that the Inhumanoids figures they were like this huge. And one of the one that always stuck with me was Decompose. He was voiced by Ray Liotta, the same guy who did Cobra Commander and Starscream.
Yes.
So, and he mainly loved to scream his name, Decompose! And he would grab his enemies, open his rib cage, shove them in there, close the rib cage, and it would dissolve them.
And the action figure, you could do that with the action figure too. You could stick your guys inside his body cavity.
Is that like a reverse alien?
Yeah.
Goes back in.
Now, Barry, did you have any Inhumanoids? Because I did not.
I had a Decompose.
Oh,
I had to have a Decompose. I would love to have them now. I don't have them anymore, but in order, I would love to get Decompose, Tentacle, and then Moltar, because because Moltar was he was your standard. I'm a big evil bad guy. Tentacle guy looked like Cthulhu. I mean,
you can't go wrong with that. I, on that very topic, just read the autobiography of Flint Dill, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He's he's an animation writer from the 80s, and he wrote for G.I. Joe and Transformers, and he co-created the Inhumanoids and Visionaries. And he, in the book, he details a lot of the creative stuff that went behind the scenes, but he said he wished that he could have crossed over, because he had a whole storyline that he had in mind of the G.I. Joes fighting the Inhumanoids. And
they would have been they'd have been a great faction that Cobra and Joe would have to team up to fight, because they were in scale. So like I said, they were this big. Your G.I. Joes were this big, so they were in scale because in the show they were ginormous monster creatures, very kaiju-esque. Not kaiju, full kaiju, medium kaiju, like King Kong kaiju. But the other thing I loved about the show is it was a pretty down show. I mean, most of the time the monsters came out on top.
Yeah.
I mean, the humans would win, but it would be like by the skin of their teeth. Like, well, we managed to save this person, but we can't go in that cave system anymore.
It was like one season, and it's not on DVD anywhere that I know of. But I at Dragon Con obtained I may have obtained a copy.
Sure, it was perfectly legit.
Yeah, perfectly legit. But no, I'm looking at the shelf with my copy right now.
There you go.
I'm gonna have to pull that down and watch it. But no, it's such good stuff, and all the G.I. Joe voices and Transformers voices were in it, and it did its job, which is to make you want to buy things.
Yes.
And I did, and it did such a good job that I still want to buy those things, even though they are, I'm sure, out the yin-yang expensive on the eBays. But someday they will be mine.
Yes. And because when I was a kid, we're out of time. Okay, so.
Yeah. Okay, so I have one thing, and
just one?
What it is this, when we were doing, we've done this a couple of times, when we've done our novelization readings, everyone had so much stuff and such good stuff that I never got to wedge my way in there. So I'm going to read just a scene from a novelization. Not really a novelization, I guess. This is from Star Trek The Next Generation meets the X-Men.
What?
Oh, I remember that.
Wow.
I am so proud of this. This is by Michael Jan Friedman. And one of these days I'm going to meet that man and I'm going to ask him, why are you so cool?
How is he so cool?
How indeed. So here is the X-Men. You don't really need to know anything. It's X-Men meets Next Generation. But the X-Men, they are transported into the Next Generation era, and they end up on the Enterprise. And in this scene, Guinan sees a powerful-looking figure.
Ooh.
Blue and yellow enter 10-4. Plugging himself down on a stool right in front of her, he gazes directly into her eyes. How's about some service, darling? I recognized the fellow as Wolverine.
Oh my God, that is so weird.
Visitors at the Enterprise had taken on recently. Friends of the captain, she reminded herself, so it wouldn't do to disembowel one of them with a mixing spoon. Service? She echoed calmly. Oh, you mean a drink. The mutant looked at her askance. This is a bar, ain't it? That's not the greatest Wolverine? Anyway.
That's good. That's solid.
It certainly is, she told him. Well, I'm looking for something good and strong.
They don't have alcohol.
She nodded. One good and strong coming up. It only took a moment for the mutant's drink. Pushing it across the bar to him, Guinan watched him slug it down. Wolverine frowned. She asked, is there a problem? Jeez Louise, you call this a drink? Actually, she replied, it's the strongest stuff we serve around here. Of course, that wasn't quite true, but Guinan didn't want to start a riot. Wolverine seemed to wrestle inwardly with his next remark. Oh, that's a crying shame, then. He jerked a thumb over his shoulder, indicating the officers seated at the table behind him. This may be fine for you Starfleet types, but I'm in the market for something with a kick. A kick.
Good luck with that, Wolverine. They're a far cry from Canada, Wolverine.
That is true. The mutant thought for a moment and then hit onto something. The sort of stuff your friend Worf might cozy up to. Oh,
okay, that's classic.
You want a warrior's drink? Wolverine said, oh, you're catching on. Guinan said, I don't want to embarrass you, especially in front of all those Starfleet types, but I don't think you could handle the kind of stuff Worf cozies up to. The mutant looked at her and smiled. That sounds like a challenge, darling.
Oh,
maybe it is, Guinan asked. You see, I got the... I didn't pre-read this. It's great. You see, I got this mutant healing factor going for me. Ask Dr. Crusher if you don't believe me.
Oh, Lord.
Whatever kind of punishment I take, my body bounces back. I get beat to a pulp. I'm good as new before you can rustle up some Band-Aids. Impressive, Guinan responded. You can slug down a warrior's drink and still feel fine because of your healing factor. So she reached under her bar again and produced a ceramic mug the size of her head and set it before the mutant. I don't know if that's her actual head or the giant head dress.
Yeah, including hat or not.
Yeah. And she made her way to the refrigeration unit, took out a jug of Worf's favorite drink, and opened the top of it. Guinan poured the dark, pungent liquid into the mug, filling the thing all the way to the top. Then she replaced the top of the jug and watched her guest's nose wrinkle up. Guinan said, a warrior's drink. Prune juice. Unless, of course, you're not the warrior you say you are. The mutant considered the stuff and then looked up. You are feisty. And then Guinan responded, takes one to know one. and thank you.
Okay, this is the slash
amazing.
I didn't know I needed, and I've already got a name. Warfarine.
Oh.
I never knew I needed it, but there it is.
See, I thought you were going to go with Guinan Wolverine and go with Guinarine,
Guinarine.
which
Well,
sounds like something you'd go to sickbay for.
Remember, I said slash. It has to be slash. So, yeah, guys, that's why you have the print juice.
I think I broke Joe.
Print juice helps with that gynorrhea. Actually, I just got the pressure about that gynorrhea.
I've got a touch of the Guinarine.
You know, if they had toilets, they'd have a lot more gonorrhea. Gynorrhea? I said the real.
They do. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, Lola.
All right. Thank God, we're at time.
Yeah.
All right, mine isn't as funny, and it may take too long. All right,
Condense. Condense it. Keep going. Go ahead.
There
Stop
may be
using our time, Joe.
There may be arguing. All right, the four of us are tasked with programming all of TV Prime, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock every night for the entire world. It can be old shows or new shows, but we have to agree. So, what show do you want to see first?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We'll start with Monday night. What's going to be Monday night?
We're talking about Monday night. No, everybody's at home.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's. Everybody's at home. Nobody's really. It's not really a focus night.
Yeah.
Monday night, I got to have sitcoms.
Okay. What sitcoms?
But
what if we do Facts of Life, the later seasons with Cloris Leachman, where they're running their novelty gift shop over our heads?
Yes, that's exactly what we have to.
We're going to show 4 episodes of that. Fill up the 2-hour block on Monday night.
Just Facts of Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later season Facts of Life.
Okay, that works. But every once in a while, I want to throw in, like, they did a Lifetime movie with all the women.
Oh, that's the Sunday night movie.
Well, we don't. All right, but remember, this is going to run for everybody, and these are the only shows we can watch in prime time. So we don't want to fill it all up with Facts of Life.
For Monday night, I say yes, we do.
I think we do.
I think we're good. We got to move, Lola.
As we learned, the Facts of Life are all about you.
That's true, and we have lessons for the whole week.
Yes, yeah, we got the whole week to work with. All right, we just fixed Monday. You're welcome, world.
Okay.
What's Tuesday?
Tuesday should be
same thing.
All right, you don't watch Facts of Life forever. Nothing else. No Manimal.
Oh.
Right. What? Is that Tuesday night? Is Manimal Tuesday night?
Yes.
All right.
I think Tuesday night. What used to come on Tuesday night?
Tuesday night should be action. Tuesday night we should have the A-Team, Airwolf, and
the Master.
Manimal. Oh, the Master.
Right. The Master. Yes.
Lee Van Cleef, man.
Let's do that. We'll cycle through the Master after like 3 weeks.
Yes.
We'll have like a quickly canceled sci-fi theater at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. if you're in some other time zone besides Central, which I don't understand. So let's start with the Master, because that show, wasn't it? It was just some dude, some punk ass kid, and Lee Van Cleef.
Lee Van Cleef is the trained as a ninja. He's looking for his daughter, and then he takes in hothead young Timothy Van Patten
to be his because Lee Van Cleef was the Master, and so the other guy was the apprentice.
Meanwhile, they're being chased by the evil ninja dude. That was a scene.
Yeah, I mentioned this the other day on the AMA. It's amazing how much of the 80s TV programming landscape were people going place to place, having adventures. And, you go to a new place, you save the orphanage from being set on fire. Then you go to the next place, and there's another orphanage that's in danger.
Yeah, that was the formula. The stranger comes to town, if you will. I've heard it described as the fugitive, the Incredible Hulk, that kind of format.
That was going to be mine, the Incredible Hulk.
Sure.
David Banner, not Bruce Banner. David Banner.
Could be David.
Yeah,
right.
Bruce is too macho sounding. So
it's a great formula.
Yeah, it should come back.
It should come back.
It should come back.
Technically, doesn't Supernatural follow that formula? They go town to town.
Yeah. At least the first 10 years. The last few years, they've actually had a stationary place, so they don't do it as much.
But they're so handsome. No, from that base though, they drive around. So, so Wednesday.
Well,
Wednesday is an all day Addams Family.
Okay. Well, what about? Can we throw in the Herman Munster too? The Munsters.
Sure. Yeah, it's the Addams Munster paradox.
Yes.
Yes.
Love it.
Monster
And
Wednesdays.
we could do compare and contrast, have papers and stuff. The Munsters versus the Addams Family. Who did it better?
Yeah. We'll have theme nights, guest stars who were on both. Or the first hour will be some dude showed up on the Munsters and the Addams Family. Maybe throw Bewitched at 9, or after the Munsters and the Addams Family get an hour each.
Yeah. I still remember one time I was flipping channels. You remember when TV, they used to have that TV guide channel, which would rotate here's what's playing on everything other channel, when that was the only way to know what was going on before we had the internet. But there was I think it was TV Land, but it was I Dream of, there was only so much space, but it was I Dream of, and the next show was Munsters. So it was I Dream of Munsters. And I was like, that's the crossover I need. I need the Munsters go to Florida on vacation. And Major Healy tries to date Marilyn.
That's perfect. And Jeannie gets jealous and locks Marilyn in her bottle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then when they, of course, find out she's a genie, and Jeannie panics, oh no, they're like, what? That's not the weirdest thing we've ever seen at all.
We have Marilyn.
Grandpa comes up with a fix for a problem with the rocket because, he's the inventor.
Grandpa saves the space program.
Yes.
But he can't actually use it. He can't go on the shuttle because of the sun.
That's true.
And Herman becomes an astronaut and goes up there with Major Nelson.
Major Munster.
I like it. I think it's genius. Yeah, genius. But then we're smart people.
Especially when you put the four of us together.
With our geekness combined.
So Thursday. I think what I want for I know that at 7:30 or 8:30, whatever you people want to call it, I want to put The Flash where it was.
The 1992 one?
Or that weird half hour crossing the half hour.
In my entire life, no one ever split an hour-long show like that.
It was a bizarre program. It was a bizarre scheduling move to have the Flash show 8:30 to 9:30. No, it did not work. It was a disaster.
People would be halfway through.
We should be in season 31 of The Flash right now, but they canceled it because of that weird time slot they gave it.
So we do The Flash, and then we do The Flash, the modern Flash.
Yes.
All Flash.
And it's Flash Thursday.
But where does Bionic Woman go?
She's in the middle. She's the spacer.
In there. Yes.
Flash, Bionic Woman, Flash.
Yes. Lindsay Wagner palette cleanser between the Flash and the Flash.
Palette cleanser.
What kind of sandwich going on?
Hey.
Just don't flash Lindsay Wagner. That's all I'm
Please don't. Because she remember on when NBC had the Thursday night lineup, there'd be the 7 o'clock show you liked, the 7:30 show where you went to take a shower or eat dinner, and the 8 o'clock show you liked, and then that other half hour between, which was always awful. And you had time, if you didn't get a shower or eat dinner in the previous half hour break, you did that then in preparation for LA Law or ER.
Yeah, I'm just glad, Joe, that you said go to take a shower.
Yeah,
because I thought you were going in a different direction there for a second.
And flashing back to shaving cream on the Dr. Demento show.
And my thought was you need a whole half hour.
Look, Joe's had a lot of cheese. That's all we're going to say.
Shave every day.
Yeah,
and you'll always look clean.
Yeah, Joe, I know what you're talking about, though. Because like that NBC Thursday night lineup in the '80s, it was every show was good when they were doing Cheers and Family Ties and Night Court, and then by the '90s on NBC, it was their long running hit shows. Then they would intersperse these lesser shows on the half hour, and just because you had to, you had Seinfeld and Friends, but then they were throwing in Caroline in the City and Veronica's Closet and
Just Shoot Me.
Just Shoot Me. Suddenly Susan. Suddenly, a friend of mine, speaking about going to take a shower during the shows, a friend of mine referred to Suddenly Susan as Suddenly Shower because he would go and take his shower in between those shows during Suddenly Susan. Not a fan of Brooke Shields, this friend of mine, evidently.
It's like, screw you, Brooke Shields.
Yes.
It's time
to suddenly shower.
I'm not going to have anything to do with you, Kathy Griffin.
Yes. So Friday, I'd like to do the dramas. We do the medical dramas like ER and LA Law.
Yeah.
The medical drama? I must have read that.
Doctors, lawyers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Police.
Something dramatic.
Yes.
Hill Street Blues.
Yes.
Emergency.
Emergency.
Fate Elsewhere.
It was a cool show, Crime Story.
Oh, yeah. Crime Story was good.
Yeah.
That was Dennis Farina.
Dennis Farina. And it was like a period piece set in the 60s.
Because Del Shannon remade the song Runaway.
Yes.
Oh, I love that
and
song.
then he died.
Aww.
He came back and did a new version of Runaway for that show and then died.
And it killed him.
Yeah, it killed him.
His life had been
so good that it killed him.
Yeah, but I think that was the first place I saw Dennis Farina, and I was like, this guy's good.
He was great. That was a cool show.
So Saturday. Of course, Saturday morning,
all cartoons, Scooby-Doo,
everything. Saturday night.
I mean, when I was a kid, Saturday night, that meant, we'd start with Solid Gold. We'd learn what all the hit songs were, watch the dancers and whatnot. And then that was Love Boat, Fantasy Island.
True.
Already done for us.
But the horror version of Fantasy Island.
Oh,
wait,
it was pretty scary back then.
You remember when Mr. Rourke fought the devil?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It was Roddy McDowell, right? Was the devil? Yeah.
Yes.
My favorite though, I loved Fantasy Island, but I loved it more once I figured out how to do Tattoo's voice. Because now, anytime anybody mentions Fantasy Island, like we're doing right now, I always get to say, "Hey, boss." When he's like tugging on Mr. Rourke's pant leg. Hey, boss, you think Morgan Brittany would go out on a date with a little man, boss? You think that may be something that could happen, boss? Just the Morgan Brittany reference. That's all I have.
There's those weird later seasons when Tattoo was replaced by Mr. Belvedere.
What the heck?
God.
I remember that. I must have stopped watching.
Yeah, they brought in Christopher Hewitt.
Not the same.
It was not so good.
The weird thing with Fantasy Island, I think we talked about this on the Classics Track. We did Sci-Fi 1977 as a panel a few years ago. But Fantasy Island, there'd always be like two major storylines with the guest stars, 2 or 3. and they shot those completely separately. So like the actors would not all be in the same place shooting on the same schedule. They were done completely separately. And even the opening scene where the plane lands, the plane lands on the water, and Mr. Rourke and Tattoo are standing there watching the guests get off the plane and walk forward, and the girl hands them the drink and all that. The way they edit it, it looks like everybody's together in that scene. But if you watch closely, the actors that are not in the same storylines are not on camera together. They're actually shot completely separately. So it's like, okay, Betty White is standing over here with her drink, and Donnie Most is standing over here with his tropical beverage. But they're in two separate storylines on this week's show, and you don't actually see them in the same shot.
Elkie Summer is not going to be in the same shot as Jamie Farr.
I was going to say, there must have been a lot of bad blood there. There must have been a reason for that.
Well, if you want the real reason, it's probably because it was cheaper just to film everybody coming off, and then you could splice them in.
They could mix and match.
Summer flies down.
Yes, and then now you think about this too. Mr. Rourke and Tattoo were always dressed exactly the same, so it was very easy to cut their shows and slice and dice and edit them however they wanted.
They could just do 24 of them at a time, like Group A, Group B, Group C, and then put them together how they want.
You see. And what I want to know is why we never got the obvious crossover of the Love Boat Goes to Fantasy Island.
Yeah, they crossed over. They did they? I think they sort of did. I know that they did. Charlie's Angels got involved in a crossover as well.
Charlie's Angels was on the Love Boat.
Yeah, and I think Fantasy Island got. I think there was a big weird crossover involving.
I think Gilligan was there.
Both those shows.
3-hour tour.
Yes, Gilligan showed up. Yeah,
surely at some point.
Yeah, although Bob Denver did a lot of Fantasy Island and Love Boat as well, so he was there quite a bit.
I remember that.
And they never.
Bob Denver needed the money.
Yeah,
Bob Denver did a lot of Fantasy Islands.
Okay.
So good.
I would always just hope for a Brady every week. I was just watching those names. Give me somebody from the Brady Bunch, and about 60% of the time, you would indeed get a Brady.
We need to do that. We need to do that giant Omega crossover of the Bradys go on the Love Boat to Fantasy Island, where they meet Gilligan, and
there's a totem, and there's a lot of bad luck. Yeah.
Yep. Done. Or it writes itself.
And Charlie's Angels are there. I mean, every 70s show should be involved.
Yes.
A $6 million man.
Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah. Internet, you have your assignment.
And it turns out the
change all the names.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm just gonna change all the names to get past copyright. I'm gonna make a name.
It's been 40 years, but
should we take care of Sunday night? Time lineup?
Sunday. No, we haven't done Sunday. What's Sunday night?
I know, personally speaking, I'm not saying we should do this because we already have a solid sitcom night completely packed with Facts of Life reruns. But when I think of Sunday night, though, when I go back to when I was a kid, Sunday night CBS for me, that meant Archie Bunker's Place, One Day at a Time, Alice, The Jeffersons.
Norman Lear night.
That was my big Sunday night.
That's right. Norman Lear night.
All Norman Lear. That sounds good.
You know what I was thinking though? Could we do like some kind of like music shows that had music in them, like the Monkees,
like Top of the Pops. Ooh, the Monkees.
But even like Fame. I love the Fame TV series.
Yeah,
Fame should be on Drama Night.
Yeah, could be on Drama Night, Music Night, Cop Rock.
Cop Rock.
Soul Train.
Yes.
We need some Soul Train.
That'll be on Saturday afternoon.
Huh?
For me, Soul Train came on. I had to wait through Soul Train to get to pro wrestling.
Okay.
So
That
I learned. I got a double dose. It was good stuff.
Or maybe some old timey variety shows, a lot of music on them, like Pink Lady and Jeff.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it.
Dang it.
Yeah, the Bonnie and Marie show.
Bonnie and Marie, yes.
I had their Barbie dolls. I cut her hair off.
Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters.
Oh my God, my family, we were addicted to the Mandrell Hour.
Oh, we were like,
and that was a Croft show. That was Sid and Marty Croft. So there were puppets on the Mandrell show.
There were puppets. And Louise Mandrell, for decades, had a theater where she performed semi-daily in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which was still is a popular destination amongst the Alabamians. And I never saw Louise Mandrell there. And I'm outraged to this day. Now she's
Joe was across the street with binoculars all day, every day, and never saw Louise Mandrell.
Nothing. No Louise Mandrell.
You have a better chance of seeing Bigfoot.
She didn't even show up when they issued the restraining order. She just sent her legal team.
Oh no, I have Bigfoot stories. But
that'll be another one, I guess.
Yeah, we got time. We'll do that later. So I think we've done it. I think we've done the perfect TV lineup.
I'm proud of us. Now everyone in the world is stuck with it. They didn't say anything.
I like this premise that it's for the entire world.
The entire world. France, everywhere.
People around the world are like, what did those 4 weird Americans...
What did
they do to us? What did they do to us?
Because I don't know when they're going to get news programs or weather or anything like that. There's none of that.
We just,
we're just doing prime time, baby.
Huh?
Yeah, we don't got time for any of that other stuff.
We're just gonna watch Mandrell and
local news at 6, national news at 6:30. Boom.
We're just gonna Mandrell it all Sunday night.
Yeah, and then at 7:00 was your hour PM magazine or local interest shows.
Entertainment Tonight, which is all about the Love Boat and Fancy Island.
That is where I got my news back then.
Yep.
Me too.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I think we've done it. I think we have successfully crushed this thing.
All right.
Has anybody got one more thing? You want to do one more thing? Where?
Notice that we've been having comments. I think it's Sherman is in our comments.
Hey, Sherman.
Hey, Sherman.
Yeah.
He's talking about Barbara.
At this point.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
Oh, he asked, what about Erlene Mandrell? I don't remember Erlene.
Sherman, hey.
Hey, Sherman.
I have
my camera set up. I'm only going to be a voice from the ether.
Yeah, it's like a angry
just
little
like
cartoon.
Mandrell.
I don't remember Erlene.
I love.
Well, at this point, Joe, I think we're supposed to turn it over to our pre-recorded pieces if we get any.
Yeah. We can do that. But guys, Thanksgiving is the best. It's a time for your family, whether you're physically related to them or your chosen family, which is what you guys are for us. And what we hope.
Wait, I had a choice?
No. we hope that we have given you a little break, a little break from the stupidness of the outside world. So everybody, we are going to turn it over now to other fun stuff that we have womped up for you, and enjoy some cranberry sauce on us. Literally on us.
Yeah.
All over us.
I'm gonna be cracking the jar open and pouring.
I'm gonna do that.
There will be no spoons.
No. I want you people to enjoy cranberry sauce on me. That is what I'm saying.
So that mental image, everyone, you're welcome.
Yes.
Buy some stuff.
That's a good movie, Kevin. Believe it or not.
That's a great movie. I like to throw in this plug right at the end, and that is there's a animated movie, Free Birds, came out, I don't know, like 8 years ago, something like that. And it's a wonderful Thanksgiving animated movie. No one ever talks about it. Nobody saw it. It's great. It's time traveling turkeys.
Yeah.
They go back in time to try to stop turkey from becoming the main course for Thanksgiving. And they're traveling in a time machine voiced by George Takei.
Oh my!
Oh my!
Oh my!
Perfect movie.
That's kind of morbid when you think about it. It would be like going back in time to
Oh my!
keep people from eating you.
No, that's exactly what happened. That's the movie. They're trying to stop the whole turkey apocalypse. The turkey.
I don't want to be dinner. Please don't make me dinner.
Nope.
Yeah. Speaking of eating, Joe.
The last cornbread. You birthday heaven bastard.
I want some cornbread.
Ridiculous. Guys. Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Give him a punch in the nose for me.
I was just trying to get the cornbread.
Dang it.
Here you go, Kevin. Here you go.
Thank you.
We'll
work this out somehow.
Shipping. We'll ship it up there.
You guys are the best. Thank you again for all the comments. That we hope you guys are having an awesome Thanksgiving. We will see you very, very, very soon, and for more fun stuff. We're not stopping with the fun stuff.
We're keeping it moving.
That's right. Much like frozen turkeys falling out of a helicopter.
Much like prune juice and laxatives.
That's
Keeping
right.
it moving.
Just like prune juice going
Gynerine.
to
treat your gynerine.
Yes, to treat your gynerine. And then just like frozen turkeys fall out of a helicopter, we are using...
We are hitting the ground like bags of wet cement.
Oh, the
Dud.
If nothing else, I want hashtag gangrene to come out of this. Gynerine.
Sure. On when this airs, we're doing it. We're going to put that thing.
Now I want someone to make that cover. You know, that romance cover.
Someone has to. We need to find somebody with some art skills to make that happen.
Oh my God. Okay, y'all, listen, hold on. You see her purple hat and there's gash marks in it from the throws.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from his animanium.
Sure.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen. So, while this is airing, let's each of us say the thing that we're going to be eating while it's happening. I am going to be cramming my face hole full of cranberry sauce. So, there you go. Kevin.
Yeah, I make a mean cranberry sauce as well, so we will have that going up here in Chicken Town, and also inspired by these fine turkeys of free birds. We don't even have a real turkey up here. We will be tearing into a very fake tofu-based tofurkey this Thanksgiving. Yeah, we got one, man. It's on reserve right now. We're going to devour that thing. Or we might go another way and just have a special ceremony during which the mayor of Chicken Town will pardon the tofurkey. And then we will just release it in a wooded area to go live its life.
And that is the plot of a horror movie, I'm sure.
And then it attracts Bigfoot, and you have a Bigfoot prize.
Tofurkey's revenge.
I wish we'd had Sherman on the line this whole time, because I loved it. It's like a laugh track. I feel like I'm on Three's Company.
Yeah.
See, this is the best. Sherman, can you just follow me around, just laughing all the time?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Thank you.
Let's do Three's Company. Hey, Gary, look how big this thing is.
That's enormous. How are you going to fit all of that in there?
Kid.
What are they talking about?
Jack Tripper. Yes,
What are they talking about?
Is this a wacky misunderstanding?
another one. This happens every week.
I'm talking about this giant deep cleaning.
Oh.
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. Even if you don't, if you already celebrated it in Canada, guys, thank you very much. We will see you very soon. Everybody, Kevin, where can people find you if you should want to be found?
That'll be right about here. Find me at flopcast.net, where we do a ridiculous podcast every week just for you.
Yep. Gary Mitchell.
You can find me right here on the Twitter, and you can find me here in my undisclosed location every week with Joe.
That's right. And Lola.
Well, I can never figure out what my last name is. So on Facebook, nobody can either, but you can always know Lola. But on Facebook, I'm Lola Strickland. On Twitter, I'm at Lola Laracy. And basically, if you look up Lola Strickland and Lola Laracy, you'll either find me or a bunch of dead ladies.
Okay.
So it's a win either way.
Either way.
It's entertaining either way and historical.
And Sherman. Our laugh track, Sherman.
Yeah, from now on, Sherman has to be on every panel, even if he doesn't talk.
Don't worry about it. We're good. Sherman. 358, I believe. Guys,
yes, exactly.
We will see you very soon.